Warning. Following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
All right, Chris, you're next. Who's your favorite friend?
Holy shit. Well, good golly.
That's tough. I can't even think of one right now myself.
I've always been told I'm a Chandler. Very kind of sharp comebacks, very much of an asshole comeback. Kind of that quick-witted guy. I've always been told I'm a Chandler. I love Chandler. I always will. But I'm gonna have to say Ross.
Unagi.
I think Sorry. Are you aware that that's a salmon skin roll? I don't know why. Maybe I projected myself into Ross because he ended up with Rachel. Maybe that's why. But you know, Rachel was. Oh god, that's my number one. That's my end all be all right there. I got a weak spot for hair, and she had like the best hair in the fucking world. Good God.
Let's just put it this way. I cannot share certain things about that rolls around in my mind about Jennifer Aniston because not need to be said.
I would fucking do awful.
I am thinking of certain.
It wouldn't even fucking.
Chris, I want to do the friends thing right now. Remind you, you're a dad of two girls that watch your podcast every once in a while, and we're talking about friends.
There. But you if you talk about Jennifer Aniston, this is what comes out of it. I can't help it.
Yes, you guys are so right. I asked that question, and it's very difficult. It is very difficult. Who is your favorite friend? So I'll stop right now to what the fuck you're drinking.
What the fuck you drinking?
I have myself an Irish Guinness beer right now. It's what's for dinner.
Station
That's
identification.
right. It's what's for dinner. It's quite obvious as I was beating myself up talking about, all right, Scott, what the hell did you drink so much? There was a lot of Guinness beer going down in my blood that night. That's for sure. So the tradition goes on. But I'm at home, so we're good. No, there's actually a wall. I'm over at Chris's house, so he's got the keys. Don't worry. Because the Myers mask, it's hard to tell. My favorite friend, it is very challenging. David Schwimmer, the physical comedy on that man, I really shined during that series. I don't know if he's had an opportunity to do that since then, but his comedic performance with physical comedy, I thought was brilliant. See, now you're probably thinking about some of that stuff.
All I could think of was leather pants.
Yes.
Hey, my favorite part's coming up.
Okay.
Oh my God! Joey, it's Ross. I need some help.
Chandler's not here.
Well, you can help me.
Okay.
Listen, I'm in Elizabeth's bathroom.
Nice.
No, I got really hot in my leather pants, so I took them off, but they must have shrunk from the sweat or something, or my legs expanded from the heat. But I can't get them back on, Joey. I can't.
Oh, that is quite a situation. Do you see any, like, powder?
Powder, yeah, I have powder.
Good, okay. Sprinkle some of that on your legs. It'll absorb some of the moisture, and then you can get your pants back on.
Yeah, hold on. They're not coming on, man.
You see any, Vaseline?
Oh, I see lotion. I have lotion. Will that work?
Yeah, sure. Throw some of that on there.
Hold on.
Ross, you okay?
They're still not coming on, man, and the lotion and the powder have made a paste.
Seriously, he was so damn good at it.
When he said,
Yeah. Yes.
it's not
Or think about episode 1. That's what got me with David Schwimmer. Well, now I'm butchering it already.
What?
With that. And of course, with Chandler Bing, and I won $1 million, with the whole bride. That's what got me, was those there. Unlike Jake. Sorry.
I just want to be married again.
Like Jake and Chris, I've always considered myself a lot like, and I've been trying to figure out a way, but I cannot avoid this. I think of some old friends of mine who I miss dearly. One era of friends who we used to watch together every Thursday night together. But even they said, you are very much like a Chandler Bing because of my smart ass attitude and my insecurities and all that. And it's so funny, and all due respect to Mr. Matthew Perry, or as his friends on that show called him, Matty. God, it's tough. You know what? I'm going to miss him. I still do. And I've lost my train of thought because I just started thinking about him again. Yeah. I'm glad that I think about my own friends when they would say you're a lot like him in a certain way with your smart ass attitude. So, and then I'm going to go with Lisa Kudrow, of course, with her witty personality. Her, she's on another level, on another planet, with her comedic performances, the lines that were written for her. But if you watch Lisa Kudrow and anything else today, you can't help but think of Phoebe sometimes with their quirks and just the way she handles her lines. And I'm thinking, you could say Phoebe did that, but it was Lisa Kudrow that kind of made that what Phoebe was all about.
Literally, that's all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They put a piece of themselves in all of those roles, and that's why it worked.
I'm gonna go Matt LeBlanc. That character became so creatively wonderful as it developed. I mean, granted, they all did, but I want to say out of all 6, Matt LeBlanc's, there was something about his character as it grew. It got really colorful. It got really enjoyable. I don't, it's hard for me to find the right words. This is Chris especially, but I don't know. There's just something about him. And I could sit here and drool over Jennifer Aniston all day. And I will. and a lot of women out there, I want you to thank me right now, because Jennifer is barely a year older than me, and I still find her to be more attractive than most young girls that are barely old enough to have I'm old enough to drink. Jennifer, you still do it for me, babe. And she's much sexier than a lot of you kids out there. Cheers.
And the reason I did not, I feel like Joey's the safe answer. Everybody loves him. Joey could easily be.
I didn't really give my favorite one, but favorite. He is.
You could easily say that. You could easily say that. But everybody loves Joey. You can't not love Joey.
You can't. You
just can't.
I love them all, but I just had to figure out a way to because it's easy for me to say Chandler. It's easy for I was just trying to. I didn't even do Courtney Cox. I love her. I love Courtney Cox. The show wouldn't have existed without her. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't have had an apartment.
Oh God, yeah, that apartment. I wanted my apartments in the past to look just like hers. I wanted that piece of art that was behind that box TV. I wanted that so desperately in my apartment. I wanted that god awful. What is it color? What's the proper name for that purple?
Oh God, I don't know. Some lilac bullshit.
But I wanted that color.
I don't know. But you know what? I love what they weren't afraid of. It's like that the apartment switch episodes. Just to fucking switch it up.
The game that oh my God.
Okay. You have 30 seconds. The lightning round begins. Stop it. Now, what was Monica's nickname when she was a field hockey goalie?
Big fat goalie.
Correct. Rachel claims this is her favorite movie.
Dangerous Liaisons.
Correct. Her actual favorite movie is...
Weekend at Bernie's.
Correct. In what part of her body did Monica get a pencil stuck at age 14?
Oh!
You know! Her ear! All right, Monica categorizes her towels. How many categories are there?
Everyday use, fancy, guest, fancy guest.
2 seconds.
11?
11, unbelievable. 11 is correct. Yes! All right, that's 4 for the guys. Ladies, you're up.
All right, come on.
30 seconds on the clock. 5 correct questions wins the game. The lightning round begins now. What is Joey's favorite food?
Sandwiches.
Correct. Chandler was how old when he first touched a girl's breast?
14?
No, 19.
Thanks, man.
Joey had an imaginary childhood friend. His name was...
Maurice.
Correct. His profession was...
Oh, Space Cowboy.
Correct. What is Chandler Bing's job?
Oh, gosh. This has something to do with numbers and processing. Well, he carries a briefcase.
10 seconds. You need this or you lose the game.
It has something to do with transponding. Oh, he's a transponster. That's not even a word. Oh, I can get this. Oh, my
He's a transponder. Like, what the fuck is a trans? That's not even a word.
The reaction from Matthew Perry, Matt LeBlanc, just the camera angles. Thank God they had 1, 2, 3, I think 4 cameras. Just the way they captured it all. It was so, oh, God damn. And of course, the episode, we were on a break, where you have obviously Monica, where they're all in the bedroom, right? And of course, David Schwimmer, of course, Ross and Rachel, where they're having that big fight. Oh my God. That was so powerful. Damn, was that a powerful episode? Because that was like the first time I really got to see Jennifer and David really, you know what I mean?
See, you're talking about an emotional episode, but That's what's so genius about Friends is all I can sit here and think about is they were going to survive on wax. They were going to eat the wax, remember?
And then, of course, when they talked about how they peed because of getting stung by the jellyfish.
Oh, God.
And then the dancing episode, the New Year's
Sometimes
thing.
I still hear the screams. I still hear the screams at night.
It's so...
That's me. I'm just screaming through the wall. Remember Joey said that?
Chris, could you imagine on this podcast, Jake, we love you, bud. We really do. I know you have an eye for horror and all that. No disrespect to you, but could you imagine, Jake, right now, if we had one, and I'm going to just pretend that we had one of the 6. Yeah, I said 6 because I still want to believe that they were a guest on this podcast right now. If one of the 6 was a guest on the podcast, what were the questions we'd ask? And I could tell you right now, Chris would say, Scott, you need to shut the fuck up this whole entire podcast and let me ask the questions. Because you'll fuck it up.
So I could tell you exactly what I would ask. Every other character, what does it smell like being around Jennifer Aniston? And then Jennifer Aniston, what do you smell like? That's my first question.
I'll follow up going like, yeah.
Wish we had smell-o-vision. Oh, man.
Hi, Mrs. Aniston. How you doing? Hi. What was your favorite? Fuck it. That's probably how they would sound around in real life.
Yeah. Yep. If it's not obvious, it's become painfully obvious. We are very much in love with Jennifer Aniston.
Look, there are, and I'm so thankful that there are millions and millions of fans around the world. Maybe billions is the right word to put it, of the television series Friends. The only time that during its era, in fact, today we all have streaming. We could pretty much watch it anytime we want, even with Friends. But I'm not going to go through the whole, I miss when September came around, the new episode of Friends came out, and NBC would do their 9 seconds of, all they had to do was put the characters, NBC, Friends, the new premieres tonight, the new season. You got excited. You just could not. And I got to make sure I do share this because if I don't, I'll be like, damn it, why didn't you? On Thursday nights, 8:00, actually at 7:30, do not call me. Do not fucking contact me at all. But the beauty of it is, a lot of people felt that way. Do not bother me while Friends is on. And because every Thursday I got my Skyline chili so I could sit down and watch it with friends. And even the reruns.
That's a good fucking lineup.
Yeah. Granted, Chris has Friends. Every time I go over there, Friends is out in part of the man cave. It's going on constantly. So you can't miss Friends. It's always on.
If I could.
Oh, yeah.
If I could tell anybody to invest in a series as a DVD or whatever, I know I have each individual one. I can go pull them off the shelves or whatever. But watching them as often as I do, like even on Apple and the streaming channels,
Max,
they cut certain things out.
Yeah.
They cut the episodes down.
They do that with music too.
So if you
like the radio edition.
I know, but I noticed immediately, like, hey, that wasn't the end of the episode. The episode had another like 3 minutes to it.
For you Star Wars fans, you get it.
If I could,
they cut the shit out of Star Wars.
Suggest anything, go buy the DVD and get the full episodes if you're a true
It's like
fan.
music, which Friends had an amazing soundtrack with their season 1 and 2. If you're into 90s music, you're gonna get it. Duh. You get the physical. I got Friends CDs. I got 2 of them out in my living room. You get the physical media Friends. You get the featurettes as well. We've already plugged it. Why are we getting? Oh my God, Chris, we'd be done. We wouldn't have to work anymore if we talked about Friends all the time on this podcast, because we'd eventually get advertisement. Ooh, hello.
We could do it. We could do it.
Mace of the Man Dighead.
Got a
How
question
you
for
doing?
you because this is a heated topic, kind of. Favorite season?
Oh,
capsulize the
fuck.
season. What's your favorite season?
Finally, Chris asked the most difficult question. Guess what, Jake? You can go first.
Okay, the season with Paul Rudd. I love this character.
Season 9?
Ooh, he was there for like 4.
I can't remember. Oh, God.
I think it's season 9 when he officially came in. I believe so. I'm not going to sit here and...
Was it only 2 seasons?
Season 9 and definitely season 10 as we make, obviously, season 10. It's been a while since I've said that word.
They got married.
You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say season 3.
3?
I just, as soon as you said, I thought about this before. It's weird. It's like I already knew this question was going to be asked. Don't ask me why. But season 3 pops in because I feel like that was that's when Rachel and Ross finally consummated their first kiss. I may be wrong about this because if we actually, and I don't want to pound this, I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but I feel like that's a good time for comments to prove me wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong because we all love our friends, and sometimes we get overexcited about it. And
yeah, I think 2 because my answer is 2, season 2. But I think that's where Ross and Rachel started to happen, and everything was going copacetic. And then season 3 was the decline. Season 3 was when they broke up and they were still doing the stuff like Ross's new girlfriend,
insecurities, the jealousy of Robbie. Shit, I would be too.
Yeah,
I've, you know, it's
2 for me for sure. I love it so much that I have 2 copies of
it. Every television series out there, some of them, The Big Bang Theory, loved that series, absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it. 12 seasons.
Kaylee.
Yeah, it was, great series. Naturally, Frasier was a huge series. 2.5 Men. I'm mentioning series that lasted for a long time. Scrubs. I mean, we could go on and on and on and on and on. Okay, Seinfeld. There's always this issue with the last episodes. It's really judged. How did the last episode, how did it go? Was it a failure? It's kind of like that with a lot of movies too. Especially with horror. That's the thing. Horror is always like, if you've done well, sometimes you have a great beginning, a middle, and then it starts falling downhill. Okay. That's sorry, but that's how horror is sometimes. A lot, I should say. Seinfeld, if I remember throughout history, really disappointed. I should also include drama, but you guys get my point. Friends, the last episode, and I'm going to let Chris, in other words,
went out on top.
Well, you're supposed to wait till I was done. It's okay. Chris, the very last episode, your thoughts and feelings on it. Okay, enough said. Jake?
I mean, when we've talked about that type of stuff, I mean, they had no reason. They went out on their own terms. All the greats go out on their own terms. They do it. They go out while they're on top and they shut it down because they don't want to come back for the slump, or they don't want to tarnish their record or whatever else. It's probably the reason we've never got anything significant as far as revisiting the characters. They don't want to mess with it. They just know to leave it alone. Same thing with how we're talking about The Crow and shit like that. Don't try to touch it. Leave it alone.
Leave The Exorcist
alone. It's all it needs to be.
Halloween alone.
But the last episode, how long had we been waiting for Ross and Rachel? If you look,
they were on a break.
If you could boil friends down to two relationships, that was the center of it all, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everybody else was supporting characters. It was all around the love of Ross and Rachel. So, I mean, it wrapped it up in the end. And, you know, the only thing I was mad about is Matthew Perry and Courtney Cox going off to their whatever house they bought. And they had their own Joey room. But we never, you know, I didn't. I wish they would have stayed in the city, but for what the apartment had to go. That was the background character. That was the supporting actor of the entire series, was that apartment. Everything happened in that fucking apartment.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I had a chance to see that in person.
No shit. You didn't take it? Oh my God.
My friend Pete that moved out to Burbank, California was working. So don't talk about it. He worked at Warner Brothers NBC studio, and you had a chance to go. In other words, I'm not going to talk about the other thing. But yeah, I went on Warner Brother Lot Studios. I believe it was Studio 11, which is now considered Friends. I may have fucked that up, but yeah, I got a chance to see it. Not the. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Not the actual stage, but I had a chance to go inside where they shot the Friends. Yes, I'm sorry, I screwed that up.
No, because they changed the set. They had to tear down, and they did it all within the same confines of the same stage. I mean, they
like Jay Leno shot Johnny Carson Tonight Show. Yeah.
Central Perk. They break it down and then they build new.
I got a coffee mug out there with Friends with the Twin Towers on it. I always have the Twin Towers facing me. It's actually on my window ledge.
You know what I love? Little quirks and little quips in the series, like like when Phoebe is massaging. She's massaging.
Which one? Oh, could we go back to when?
I forget. She was massaging someone and she was like, "Oh, Phoebes," and she was like, "That's your name," and she was like, "Short for Phoebe? I thought we just called each other that." Like little quips like that, and then where she says like, Central Park, Central Perk. Oh, I just got it. And now, how many fucking that's being like self-aware, like little shit like that, just thrown in there that made it what it is. That gave it character.
Yeah,
it's
and that's that's great about Friends. You could mention one particular thing, and naturally you think all the other people out there that love that show, so they start thinking about other things that relate to exactly what you're saying. So I'm thinking of Ross, how jealous he was of that a fucking Italian guy that was screwing around with Rachel, and then Miss Phoebe's massaging him, and Ross. Yeah, that's it's everything has a full circle about everything. It was almost like Breaking Bad got some inspiration off of Friends because everything has its cycle around everything,
There's always something in the way. There was dead dogs and Italian guys and that's like all he had. That was fucking good. Oh man. What a fucker that guy was.
Jake, that last episode, what was it? You obviously are a friend of that. A friend. Yeah, you were a friend. You were a fan of that show. There you go. That works out good. A friend and a fan of that show. That last episode, share what was that like for you when you watched it?
2004. I was in 9th grade. It was 9th to 10th.
14?
It was
13?
It was sad. Yeah.
No.
It was sad, It was a great show, and I was hoping to go like one or two more seasons, but like Chris said, it went out on top.
Yeah. It was.
It's like saying goodbye to that friend that's moving across country.
Oh yeah, been there, done that. Got angry at him too.
It's like the person that you spent every few days a week with, or you spent at least one day a week with, and then it was like I have an opportunity in L.A. and I gotta move there. That's what
holy shit, Chris. You're talking. I talked about my friend or an editor at NBC Studios. He had an opportunity. He moved out to LA as an editor. He didn't actually start at NBC Studios, but I was pissed off when he moved out there. He moved out there when Zach was just a baby, and he was one of my closest friends. And I'm happy as hell for him now. I mean, we don't talk like, you know, but he was the same guy. Like, hey, you know, I need an assistant editor. You know, so you said that. I was like, holy shit, man! Wow.
It's like you want to wish him well, but
selfishly,
at the same time,
why the fuck are you leaving me? When you talked about, you know, on a podcast not too long ago, modifications that people have to go through in California with their cars and stuff like that. I remember him going through that shit with his Saturn View. Or no, I had a Saturn View. Sorry. He had a Saturn. What the hell was it? It was this little sports car. He had to back that car up into his driveway. He lived in the Hollywood Hills. But yeah, he had to go through a lot of bullshit through that. But with, at the time, the opportunity, someone like myself who was fascinated with when your dream is to be an editor and to work for a major studio, possibly films, that's the place you had to go to. There's no doubt about it.
Meet Us in the Man Cave apparel available now. Get your very own Meet Us in the Man Cave house, boat, car, child, guitar, batteries, dishes, household apparel, kitchen apparel, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, shower curtains, phone cases. Oh, the list could go on and on and on. Isn't that right, Chris?
Question. Can Chris, I do it with my butt cheeks?
Meet Us in the Man Cave apparel available right now at redbubble.com. Remember, only a few of those items are available, including hats.
That last episode, you guys, it's ironically, Meet Us in the Man Cave. I'm never at my fucking bar. My bar looks like a little tiny baby now compared to Chris's bar. But I had that bar back in 2004 where I lived in Dayton, Ohio. Last time I ever lived in Dayton, Ohio. Watch that last fucking episode. I believe it's the third week of May, 2004. And I remember when it ended.
Okay, please be careful with that. It was my grandmother's. Be careful. Thank you. If that falls off the truck, it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Wow.
I know. It seems smaller somehow.
Has it always been purple?
Look around, you guys. This was your first home. And it was a happy place, filled with love and laughter. But more important, because of rent control, it was a friggin' steal.
Hey, do you realize that at one time or another, we all lived in this apartment? Oh, yeah, that's true.
I haven't.
Wait a minute, what about that summer during college that you lived with Grandma and you tried to make it as a dancer?
Do you realize we almost made it 10 years without that coming up?
Oh, honey, I forgot. I promised Trieger that we'd leave our keys.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this is it.
Yeah. I guess so.
This is harder than I thought it would be.
Oh, it's gonna be okay.
Well, do you guys have to go to the new house right away, or do you have some time? We got some time. Okay, should we get some coffee?
Sure. Where?
I can remember watching the credits, the music that's being played, the empty apartment, everything else. And I literally went to my bar. I went from my TV to my bar, and I just leaned down on the left side, and I just went into tears. I knew it was coming to an end, and I accepted it. Like you said, both Jake and Chris, yes, they went out on top. Selfishly, I never wanted it to end. I didn't like you said, that Monica and Chandler were getting the house, being responsible because of the family. They've got the Joey room. Yeah, it was cute and all that, but it made sense that they did it. But I think it was that feeling like, I don't want you going there because you're leaving. You're leaving us. That's how I felt. And I'm going to bring up the one elephant in the room. Damn it, I wanted Joey and Phoebe to get together so bad. But at the same time, I loved their kooky friendship. But I think every fan of Friends was kind of hoping a little bit of Joey, and they would have had the...
In an alternate universe, I like to pretend that they eventually got together off screen.
And I think we should end it with this. In an alternate universe, in your imagination, let's pretend there was a reunion that you created, not what, and I love that what they did. I love the fact that it wasn't an actual like Friends 20 years later or whatever, because it probably would have ruined it. I know that's hard to imagine. How do you ruin Friends? But you know, fuck it. In your imagination, because I did this with The Ranch, and there is no wrong. It's only right. Chris, a reunion where you're responsible for creating a Friends reunion television series. What would that be like? And I guess we could end this podcast of your imagination, your fantasy of the Friends getting together for like maybe one more episode or one more season, however you want to create it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And while you think about that, I'm going to be an asshole and go into Monica's bathroom to take a piss and not get the toilet seat wet.
I'll be damned. Don't open that closet door up.
Meet us in the man caves. Underwear that's fun to wear. Super duper absorbent materials that absorbs 25 times its weight, neutralizes that shitty and pissy odors with our lavender musk scent. Shitty melt protection to pissy melt protection. Maximum overloads. Meet us in the man cave's fresh protection underwear that's so damn fun to wear. Now come on, what are you wearing?
Only available at Bubba.
Are you still thinking of something? Or did I piss that?
Yeah. I was waiting for you to come back too.
Bitch. Because I was hoping to go.
It's like me and Jake were talking about right there. It's the episodes always felt personal. There was, they weren't tackling like monumental topics. It was like personal. It was who stole Ross's sandwich. You know what I'm saying? It's
kind of like they took a page out of Seinfeld.
That's so hard to even like capsulize and try to create even one episode out of. have to say that we would have to get all the original characters back together, which is impossible now. And that's, I think, another part that hurts the most because it's impossible. It's not, it can't be done now. But get all them back into one room together and let them spitball and come up with their topic and what they would address now. I feel like it'd be something with the internet, something with phones, something digital. I feel like it would be them dealing with that if I had my wish, but that's impossible without Matthew.
You know, before I share the possibility of how I would do a reunion, I want to applaud Friends, because I was going to say this earlier. And let me interrupt your turn, Jake. But during the time back in 2001, after September 11th, a lot of networks had to deal with something, the impossible. And I'm going to use Friends here because that's what this podcast is about. Those creators had to come up with how are we going to handle this. Friends, as we all know, is a comedy. Mainly it's comedy. They did it beyond brilliancy. Chris, you've basically laid the foundation of really what this show, the series, what it's about. Jake, you elaborated on it as well. You never feel alone with those guys. There's a comfort about that series. You feel like you're at home. They helped everyone. They knew they weren't going to heal any wounds. They knew that they weren't going to be able to take away the pain. But for at least 22 minutes on Thursday nights during that time, doing new episodes, they tried everything in their power to help you smile. Even if it only helped you smile for 1 minute, especially if you were dealing with it more personally, they did everything in their power to help the American people out during that time. And to be fair, others around the world too. And they always had Easter eggs, of course, and you knew what they were. You didn't have to say anything. You got it because there was so much I Heart New York. There was little Easter eggs, the drawings, the little quirky, notes and stuff. And Friends helped us out there. And I can't thank them enough. Matthew Perry, if you're listening to us right now, man, you helped out more than you ever realized during 9/11. You really did. And I wish others told you that during a time when you were here with us. Because it was a tough time. And I was an Ohioan that was dealing with it from afar. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Jake, your turn. My God, having this hard lemonade.
Okay, refresh my.
You are responsible for creating a reunion of Friends. And we're going to, this is all hypothetical. Matthew Perry is still with us. All right. However you want, it's your reunion. How would you do it? If at all. If at all.
Okay. I would make them have to move back into the apartment and get one more season with that. But I guess it'd be like trying to go home again, but you can't do that. But they'd move back into the apartment and go from there. I don't know. Something like that.
And Chandler and Joey were fighting over fighting over that chair.
maybe Chandler lost his job as a transponder and they had to move back into the apartment because they had such because rent control was a friggin' steal.
That's right. And Joey locked himself inside that TV entertainment center again. Sorry. It's tough, guys. It is. I think with all the fans out there that love that series and still do.
It is, but you know what? Any new people, especially with the girls, both the girls. it's like getting to relive it, watching all those episodes and watching how happy it makes
and how they
them,
question certain things.
and what, and them learning to love it. Like it's like experiencing it all over again. That's my current love for Friends. Other than it, of course, being home, like I can just put that on and I just feel like instant comfort.
When I listen to the soundtrack, it's comfortable for me because it's like, that's my music. That's the music that I understand. But everybody has that with music. It could be a song that just came out today and it's your song that you love. And so that's your music, you know. If I was going to do a reunion, yes, of course, they have that main sets, the apartment has to, how do you do that? I know. How did the fuck do they get back into that apartment with rent control? How do they do that? I know that part right there. I haven't figured out. But the one thing I want to have fun with is Ross and Rachel. They got married and divorced, and they got married again because somehow they were on a break, got involved because of Ross's divorces and all that. I know this is kind of rough drafting it, but how the fuck do you do this, right? Monica and Chandler are still married, and Chandler's working for Joey. Yes, Chandler is now working for Joey. Is Joey
kind of like the personal assistant episodes?
Exactly.
Freshly squoze orange juiced.
Because Chandler now is 2024. Chandler's now, he is, okay, we have, who is one of the biggest individuals in podcast right now? It has been for years. Joe Rogan. Joey is one of the biggest podcasters out there. And Chandler, who is responsible for really the creativity for Joey's podcast. He's the producer. I know that's so out of the norm, but it gives you something that I want the viewers and right now the people to see Chandler, his reaction, how he's still, you know, kind of helping Joey out, you know, understand, you know, how things work, you know. But I just wanted Chandler to work for Joey, but yet Chandler's still the creative master in a certain sense, but yet Joey gets all the spotlight. And now I want to take 2024 as a podcast. I don't know why. I just wanted to kind of throw a podcast aspect into it. Rachel, like I said, Rachel and Ross, we're on a break. You're still chasing that dream. And Monica has become really not so much a clean freak anymore, but somewhat of a slob. And I'm trying to figure out Phoebe right now. I really am. I'm trying to figure out.
Phoebe has it all together.
She has it all together.
Phoebe is organized.
Yeah, she's, but yet, I mean, but I'm telling you, as I say all this, because I've kind of fantasized about this before, I realize as I do this creativity with them, I realize I butchered all 6 of their characters. I realize that every single time because it's not really them. It's the modern time. And how do so basically I always come back to, I can't go back to the past. I can't relive those days anymore. I can no longer be with certain people anymore. I miss certain people a lot dearly, and I miss certain times in my life, but I can't relive them. I'm thankful for them. So I have to let the past be in the past and try to figure out a way to move forward. So I guess that's the best way how I do a reunion. It's fun to get your crayons out and try to color within the lines and try to find out new ways to make this picture look beautiful. But I can't do it. I can't make Friends any better than it was before. So that's my way of fucking up this around about how would I create a reunion. I would try, but I would fail because they were on a break.
We all would. There's no way we could make it without that, all the magic was in those people.
I'm glad I didn't have to create it.
As fun as as much fun as we could have with it, all the magic was those people. We need to get those people back together.
I don't think Martha would want to. Martha. I'm thinking of the creators and all that, Kaufman and all that, Kevin Bright.
Oh, real life.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Because it was based on their college. I'm just because I do, and I'm looking at the time right now that I'd never really mentioned their names out loud. Those guys, those actually, there's 3 of them. Yeah, I'm trying to remember Martha, Kevin, and who else? Who am I missing? I feel terrible.
The unsung hero.
Yeah. I don't blame them, and I applaud them for not going any further than what they did. So, yeah.
But look what they did.
I know Friends is a topic that can go on and on. I know I didn't really. I think I said enough about Matthew Perry. I don't need to say any more. Like Chris, I mean, Matthew's always he's always going to be alive inside of me. He's always going to be there. I don't like it that he's gone, but that's part of life. It just sucks. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
But he's forever immortalized. Anytime you want to sit down and have an evening with Matthew, he's there. That's all I'm thankful for.
I'm glad to hear one of his quotes from his own mouth, from hearing it from his own vocal cords. That was the best time of his life. And I'm thankful to hear him say that. So, well, guys, I know we could go on and on and on and on and talk about Friends. I know we could have other people in our lives that would have loved this conversation to share their thoughts, their memories, but there's only so much that you could do without eventually having to hit that record button, because there's always going to be more memories, right? There's always going to be more thoughts.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something like, oh, I should have said this.
But let's take a note from Friends, and let's go out on top.
Yeah, and don't drink and drive.
Let's hit that button.
Sounds good. Chris and I would like to thank you for watching or listening to Meet Us in the Man Cave. Since you enjoyed watching us, make sure that you tell all your friends and family to subscribe to Meet Us in the Man Cave here on YouTube. Make sure you click on that notification bell. That way you're notified on our next video podcast or live stream video. Better yet, if you appreciate freedom of speech and oppose of censorship for content creators, make sure you follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Rumble. Are you on Discord? Well, Meet Us in the Man Cave's there. Come and hang out with us. You can find and follow Meet Us in the Man Cave on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. And as always, you can listen and download Meet Us in the Man Cave on your favorite podcasting app. Available to stream or download so you can listen all you want, whenever you want. For more information, go to meetusinthemancave.podbean.com.